Hey everyone, this is Ken, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on a fully compact selector panel. Now what's great about this design is the simple fact that it actually requires no hoppers for it to work. And it's super compact, and I'll get more into it once I show you the redstone. Now if you can see guys, you're going to notice that as you press the button, it actually changes very quickly. And you want that. You want a selector panel that's smooth and doesn't hesitate, and of course very responsive. Look at that, look how quick it actually changes between buttons. It's amazing. Now I actually set up the reset system slightly different. Now you can have it set up so that when you hit the button, all the lights go on at the same time, or you can have it so that just the one button goes on. But we'll get more into that when we start after the build itself, and I'll show you how to really set that up. It's really not too complicated. Now as you can see guys, the redstone behind this is super simple. It really doesn't take a lot of materials. And it's extremely compact for what it's worth. Which is fantastic, because when you want a selector panel, you really don't want to waste a lot of resources on it, but you want this to be highly efficient and very responsive. Now as you can see guys, what we're using here is pretty much an update block system. And that's the reason why we have those power rails right underneath. And as you can see guys, we don't use that many repeaters for each section, at least compared to a lot of other designs. Now these blue blocks in front of us actually represent the output. So you can either put a redstone torch to really invert the signal, or if you want, you actually use repeaters depending on what you're trying to build and what kind of output you want to create. So it's really sky's the limit to what you really want to do with this. So I just want to give you guys some options and just kind of show you what you could do with it. So this is the basic materials you're going to use. You will be needing a block of your choice, some half slabs, stairs, redstone lamp, a button, well a few of them, droppers, redstone dust, redstone torch, repeaters, comparators, and of course your combination of power rails and rail activators. Now that gets a little complicated, and I'll explain a little more in depth why you will need either one or both of them. So don't get too stressed out about that. Now at this point guys, this is going to be the dimensions needed to make a 15 selector panel. So if you need to pause the video, feel free, and bear in mind you can always make this smaller. I just want to show you guys the maximum size for this specific build. Now right here in the front, you're going to place a block right there and stretch it from one end all the way down to the other. Fantastic. Now at this point guys, we're going to place some redstone dust from this end, about 15 blocks towards this direction. Now right here in the end, you're going to place one redstone dust there with a repeater going forward. Because that little redstone dust on the right is actually the reset button that's pretty much going to activate the rest of the system to reset correctly. Now at this point guys, I want you to place some droppers going forward from this point, and you're going to place 15 right across, so you pretty much get to the end of the line. And on the opposite direction, where that block is at, you want to face the hoppers, or the droppers again, going towards each other. So you want both droppers facing each other in this exact format. Now make sure to put one comparator behind each dropper like so. Then you place a block in front of each comparator, a redstone torch on top of every block, and a block on top of each redstone torch. Now at this point, we're going to start creating the actual panel. So you're going to place a block of your choice there, and then run on top of every single redstone dust. Then you place another row of blocks right on top of that. And parallel to what you're going to place the buttons on, you're going to place the redstone lamps. Right there, perfect. And one right here for the reset button. Then you're going to place a button right in front just like so. Fantastic. Alright, so you should have this kind of layout at this point. Now for this setup, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to place one item in front of every dropper, right inside, okay? Now I'm using dirt, but you can use whatever you want. As long as it's just one item inside of it, that's how you're going to really have the system going. Now you can place a torch there with a block on top of it and a torch on top of that just to get the light indication. Now if you guys want to make this smaller, you can actually add it to one of these spots over here by adding a torch and a block and repeating the same thing forward. Now the only reason I have that gap there is for the simple fact that redstone dust only travels about 15 blocks. So I'm trying to get the maximum volume out of this, and that's the reason I have that repeated there and so forth. Now on top of those droppers, you're going to place a power rail right across. Now if you guys are having any issues when you activate that power rail, you can actually set up so that it's either a power rail and the next one is a rail activator. Then of course, go in a back and forth pattern. See what I mean? So you got two options to really set this up if you're having issues with a straight row of power rails. But with this straight line of power rails, you should not have any problems. And what that's doing is, once you activate that one power rail on top of the dropper, is actually updating the block underneath, causing it to activate as well. It gets a little confusing, guys, but long story short, it pretty much just, once the block on top of the power rail is activated, it also updates the one underneath, creating some kind of butt switch from my understanding. Now guys, once you've done that, you're going to repeat the same pattern and have repeaters going right across. Now that block right there, you're going to add a redstone torch in front of it and a block on top of it. Now at this point, you're going to add a block right there on top of each repeater, and of course a repeater going forward. Then all you have to do, guys, is add your torch on top of the block, and that's going to be your light indication. And as you can see, guys, it's only going to activate that one redstone lamp in front of it instead of all of it or next to it, as you can see. Now once you test it out, you should have this kind of effect. And once you hit that reset button, it should all be cleared out. Now, if you guys want to have the effect of having it all light up at the same time, just place a block there with some redstone dust and some redstone dust on top of each redstone lamp. So once you select the button and you reset the system, all the lights go on and back off instantly. Then of course at this point, guys, what I like to do is I like to add some stairs right in the front just to cover up that redstone dust. And if you can, you could really decorate this any which way you want. So what I like to do, I like to add some pillars on the side and just really bring this out a little more. And at this point, you should have your type of style or whatever you want to build, just like so, guys. Anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you could please leave a comment and subscribe. Thank you.